Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner Studios. With me today is Robert Hupman. Robert is running as a Board of Supervisor for the South River District, right?
Yep.
Well, Robert, it's good to have you here. Really appreciate you coming by. We just got back from lunch. We had lunch at LD's today and kind of meet Robert and talk a little bit. So I've learned a lot about him already, and we'll share some of that information with you. I didn't know Robert is a turkey farmer. So it's an interesting thing, but let's go back to the supervisor. Why do you want to run?
Well, number one reason that comes to mind is that, I love the county, and, growing up here, I really want to, take this county forward next 20, 30 years and make some solid proposals while we're, if I'm fortunate enough to get elected and help this county grow properly.
You have pretty deep roots in the county, don't you?
Yeah, we go back, late 1700s, 1800s. So
it's kind of good to trace your family tree back that far.
Yeah, and most of the family is either across the river or I'm on my side of the river. So
Well, earlier we had Cheryl Cullers came in. You told me she's a neighbor of yours in South River. Everybody's a neighbor when you live in South River.
Well, she's my cousin as well. She married in the family. So.
Well, there you go. So it's interesting. You live down in the nice, beautiful part of Warren County, and a lot of farmland, Bentonville, Browntown.
Yeah.
And we were talking earlier about the community that South River seems to have, a lot more of that rural community feel. They had the Redbud Festival there in Browntown.
Yes,
it's amazing the people that come and really support that part of the county and the area. So,
yeah, it's a great event.
So let's talk a little bit about South River and some of the ideas that you have. What would you do different than what's been going on?
We need, like you said, the word everybody touches on is transparency. I think I would like to start with the county office, improve the relationships with the community and the county with proper and great customer service. And I think that would lead to a trickle-down effect with, local economy, bringing in some businesses and growing properly. And I'm not just saying, grow big and turn into Loudoun County.
Right.
I never would want that for the county, but we need to bring in some proper jobs. And then on the south end, really promote farm-friendly and unique ways to help these farmers get maybe a little bit more economy that the cattle industry is not providing. I have some good connections with the poultry industry, maybe bring in a few barns if the county would allow it, and we'd work with that. And touch base on the recreational part with the canoe companies, the campgrounds. We got the state park, and try to capitalize on that money coming in. That's already coming through here, as everyone knows, with Maryland and Northern Virginia. Try to get some revenue.
It's coming through and keeps on going.
Yeah, they go to Page County, and I seen an article years ago that blew my mind. Was Page County State or Skyline Drive gives, I think it was like $70 million in total revenue comes from the drive just for Page County. And I don't compare ourselves to Page, but,
Sure.
But we have some of the same natural resources, and I think we could tap in on that.
Well, we're talking at lunchtime about how certain businesses do their marketing, and you mentioned Page County. You have Luray Caverns, and you can't during the travel seasons, you can't go without ever seeing an ad about Luray. Come to Luray Caverns and see the drive and see all our area, and we have that location. What they say in real estate: location.
Yep.
And Warren County has that. We just need to get that message out, and hopefully that's something that the county can make it friendly.
Yeah, I think we have a really good opportunity. I think the new town council, mayor, and everybody that I've talked to is willing to work. And if we could get a joint thing so the county's not floating that bill all the way, we could do a little bit of advertisement, down in Northern Virginia area, and say, hey, we're open for business. Come spend your money and try to get some more shops in here. And it's good for the community, I think.
Well, the cutoff date will be June 11th, and we're hearing rumors that there's several people running in South River and other districts that's available, which is kind of good. We went in South River especially. We've gone, I know the last cycle, Linda Glavis told me she really didn't want to run again, but no one stepped forward, so she felt kind of like, well, I'll do it if no one else does it, And now we have 3 or 4 possibly that could be running for South River, which is as good. And I mentioned in the conversation with Cheryl and other people that it looks like we're having the broom party. That they're just going to like sweep out all the incumbents, and I'm just wondering if that's, and some of the incumbents or I could just say all the incumbents, there's nothing wrong with them, but I think the attitude, people say, well, clear them all out, throw the bums out and let's get some new bums.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the number one question I get is, are you sure you want to run? And I can't see why not. I've been wanting to do this for years, and the timing's right now. My health is good. I got the family. I want to make sure my little daughter, she's 2.5, to have a great education here like I did when growing up. And,
right.
Teachers are another concern of mine, along with, just trying to get a proper revenue in here where eventually we could have a decent flat tax rate.
Right. What are you, the EDA's been in the news a lot. Obviously, if you read the Royal Examiner, you know that we've written quite a few stories about the EDA. You got some thoughts you want to share on that?
With any type of government, most of us know we need a clean sweep with the EDA. I think they're making strides too, but I would like to see EDA that's going to be a little more aggressive and a little more customer service friendly toward new businesses. Actually go out and do what they're supposed to. No more backdoor deals. Let's have like an open market style EDA where let's promote these businesses, get them to grow before we exploit the.
Well, I think the product that we have to sell is good.
Yeah.
We have a good product, which is we're selling Warren County, and it would seem to me that we need a champion to go out into the world.
Yep.
And drag the business in. People say that about our company and what you're doing too.
Yep.
You couldn't sell all your turkeys in Warren County. You have to go out and get customers to buy these things, and you understand we talked about that. But it's like us, I've got customers in all 50 states and several countries, and we just drag them into the county and
Yep.
and do it. So we have that location. We have a UPS terminal, and we got FedEx in Winchester. We have a little airport. We've got trucks that come in and out and through the county. So we have a good product. We have location.
Yep.
And we have the Avtex property, or the Royal Phoenix, that really is a diamond in the rough. I think that we have over 100 acres there of the best land and laying land in Warren County.
Yep.
It's level and it's flat,
Not much dirt to move.
Not much dirt to move. Now, there's a lot of areas that we can't touch, but there is a good part that we can. And it would seem to me that we should be able to sell that.
And you would think with the brand new, beautiful police station we have right beside it
I think it's going to be an anchor point. I know there was a lot of upset people about spending that kind of money. And of course, things do cost a lot more than what you realize. Nowadays, I can remember, selling my office, and I was going to replace it with an oven. All of a sudden, it was going to cost me twice as much what I sold mine for. I said, well, I think I'll just make do with what I got,
Mm-hmm.
But I think the police department, government buildings just seem to cost a lot more money than
they do,
than private. It just seems, I'm sure when you built your place, it's if the government built it would probably cost 10 times as much. They would have all these requirements. But I think that we have a good, starting point and a good anchor, and on that part of town, and hopefully the EDA will come through. And we have a new director, and we hope to be talking to him, next week, and we'll see about his vision for the EDA. But we'll see how that goes. How about the board? Do you think there's anything that the board should be doing that they haven't been doing?
Just seems to me with the general public, they kind of got worked in a hole there, and they had their backs against the wall there with the recent tax raise that they had to increase taxes. I would like, and if I'm fortunate enough to get elected, I want to be real proactive with working with whoever, the county administrators, county attorneys. I just want to be in those offices, at least multiple times a week, just going over, making sure everybody's, happy, they're working properly, everything's running smoothly. And I think that's something I would like to step up the customer service aspect, which I'll touch on that a lot. But if I'm in there and if I can help in any ways, that's what I'm coming to work, and that's
Well, that's
my
the thing
number
is, some of the things we talked about with other candidates is, do you have the time to take, this is more than just 2 meetings a month.
Yeah.
There's a lot of meetings that the Board of Supervisors handle, and it takes the time. So the question is, do you have the time to do that?
And I have, I've restructured. I have a jiu-jitsu gym that I have a business partner with. We've talked. I've rescheduled everything with morning classes. Most of my farm duties are done I can get them done by 7 a.m. So I can
You get up early.
Yeah, I get up at 3:30, 4 o'clock every day. So I go, I work, piddle around, get everything done, and then I do my jiu-jitsu business, and then I would go back. So I'll sacrifice, and that's, we make sacrifices for what we want. With Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that's kind of helped my mindset get to
That's
where
a
I need
discipline, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really changed my life for the better, and I met a lot of
It's
great
not about
people.
strength, though, is it?
No, it's a very, very mental. It's a gentle art, they call, but
Yeah.
it gets right rough.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but
No, thank you.
But I definitely enjoy the fact that I'm willing to come to the county office every day, bust my butt, and put that same farm work ethic I've been doing with my family's farm that they started, that I took over, unfortunately as soon as I did, but we're making it work.
Well, when life throws you with lemons, you make lemonade. Is
Yeah.
that? Well, it's a lot of hard work, and I appreciate everyone that does step up to do public service and to run for positions in the government. It's something that needs to be done.
Yeah.
And it takes someone to step up and say, here am I'll do it. And we talked earlier. I keep talking about Cheryl because she was just here this morning,
Yeah.
and she's your cousin, so we
Yeah.
can talk about her.
Yeah.
But and she talked about service and listening to people. She's a nurse, and she's used to. She said that listening, and I think that's important too. What do you think? I mean, it's
Of course.
basically what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's where customer service comes into effect. I mean, I'm dealing with the public with my other businesses. I got a food truck as well, and my wife runs that. But you got to be involved with that person when they come in. You want to meet their needs, and I want to effectively do that and not send them through the ringer going back and forth between offices. So if it's something I can do to help improve, and I think that's why we are elected for the board, is to help run this county. And if something needs to be tightened up, I think we need to step up and put a short leash on whoever needs to be put in check.
Well, I mentioned also when I talk to candidates that are running, I say, the word on the street is that the county is not business friendly. I mean, I don't know if you've heard this or not. Or
I hear it. I went around, talked to some local businesses, and that's the first thing I walk in. I say, hey, some of them I already knew, so it's a little bit easier to come in and talk, but how can I help you? How can we make your business profitable and make this county, grow properly?
And when I talk to the county, they say, "Oh, we're the most business friendly there is." So I think there's a disconnect.
Yeah, I think there is on that aspect, and that's the bridge. We're going to try to bridge that gap.
So you see that as a business person,
Yeah.
you can understand the economics of what the government should be doing and shouldn't be doing.
I know it's tough. I mean, I had the Middle of Main building. I had great landlords, Tom and Terry Escherman, and I mean I hated to have to move out to the county, but town electric's town electric, and
Sure.
I was paying entirely too much, and for business sense, I had to move out, and I luckily lucked out and got George as a landlord out at the Apple House.
Right.
Got 2 great landlords, so I ain't no complaints there.
Can't beat that.
But yeah, we need to really touch base with the county, get our most of the girls that work in there, they've been a really good help to me, but
Right.
there's always room for improvement, and I think we're gonna get something done.
Well, that's great. That's great.
regardless.
Anything else you want to mention, Robert, that we haven't touched on?
Other than it's a trickle down effect. If we can get some more businesses in here, grow this community and the economy properly, obviously the money will be there for the teachers, long term and short term teachers. Maybe restructure and look at if we can start from some of these budgets from the top down instead of always trying to cut the small man out. And then maybe look for some incentives. If I listened to your other interview with Greg, and that was a great proposal with the maybe giving them some money or incentives to come here. We'll help you buy a house, help you build, or whatever, and let they pay that back over a period of time. Or maybe we can give them a little bit of tax relief in the time being that we can't give them the money.
Right.
Work with Doug or whoever that works with that budget and look at the budget and see if we can, find how much is it going to cost us if we give them 10% off their personal property.
Sure.
Just something a little bit to say we care for you. And
Well, I think that's important. What's what we mentioned too. I mean, most people don't leave their job based on pay.
Yeah.
I think we all use that to rationalize this quitting.
Yeah.
Oh, pay, they didn't treat me right. And it boils down to normally is somewhere down the road you just didn't feel you were appreciated
Yep.
enough.
And that's another thing. That's another point on my campaign is also do the same for these senior citizen and veteran programs. I've talked to some people that try to get on it, and it's very hard to get qualified for it. So I think maybe we can look at a standpoint and tackle it to set our needs as a county instead of going off a national template.
Right.
And maybe see to get some relief for some of these. I feel if you're 62 and you're able to retire, you've done your time and you've helped out, and I think we should also help the community as well. So I mean, I'm not saying we need to tackle and take money from or add taxes, but if there's a way we can help, I say we need to look at these options. And
Yes.
that's
Well,
important.
listen to people and see what
Yeah.
their needs are, because they change a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes what we did 5 years ago, 10 years ago, we don't need that any longer.
Yeah.
We need to modify it. It's amazing. Once these government programs get started, they take a life of their own, and it's hard to flip them around. You got 40 acres to turn the ship around, don't they say?
Yeah.
Well, Robert, it's good talking to you. I really appreciate you stepping forward and doing your part to public service. And after June 11th is the cutoff, so maybe we'll know who is going to be our final candidates.
Yeah.
I can get you together, come in with Cheryl and whoever else is running, and we'll sit down and we'll really find out where our differences are and where the public can really meet the candidates
Yeah.
and kind of form an opinion other than looking at your sign driving down the road, and say,
Put a face with the
put
sign.
a face with the sign, and we really appreciate it. Again, thanks again, and hope you have a great day. And again, remember, the election is coming up in November, and we have a lot of seats open. We have several on the Board of Supervisors and the Town Council, so become an informed voter, pay attention to what's going on, and of course, you can get a lot of that on the Royal Examiner.
And then I'll tell that with everybody, please reach out to me if you have any concerns or anything that you've had issues with. Please reach out. I'm here to work, and I want to hear everybody's point of view. So,
All right. Thanks, Robert.
yeah, thanks for your time.